What is up, everyone? This Project Elements here. We are right by the bed right now, and yes, the big day has finally come. I am finally doing my full Sonic plush collection video. So, this is going to be a very interesting video to do. Now, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take each and every Sonic plush off of whatever little display I have them on, and then I'm going to place them on this bed. And then, from there, I'm going to tell a little story behind every single one of them. And there's quite a lot, and there's quite a lot to say, so, yeah. No, let's just get right into this. Starting with this little goober. My very first Sonic plush. Now, this is the very first, this is the very first plush of Sonic that I own. But I do own a plush that I've had since I was like literally a baby. But this is the first Sonic plush that I ever owned. It's this guy. This was the first one. This is what kickstarted all of this. So if there's anyone to blame this train wreck on, it's this guy. Obviously he's not in the best of condition. I will probably get a new one of him someday. But yeah. So you are going right there. Next up on the chopping block is this Toy Factory Sonic, and this video isn't any like particular order or anything. This is just like, you know, whatever I grab off the shelf. The story behind this guy, I got him from a Dave & Buster's. I had enough tickets, I bought him, and I kick him around from time to time because he's that much of a punching bag. So you are going to be right there. Ah, yes, this one. Oh, I remember this one. This one has a pretty interesting story behind it. Now, I believe I got this guy during one of my little merch hunts one time. This guy I got at a this comic book store nearby my house at the time. And yeah, this is the Funny Sonic by Kid Robot, I believe. Yeah. And he's a little goober, but I love him. He's cute. He has actually really good spike patterns for, you know, this type of plush. So you are going right there. Ah, yes, this classic Sonic plush. Now, I actually didn't know where this came from when I originally got it back then. Like, back when I bought this off eBay, it was pretty cheap, too, like 15 bucks. He didn't have his touch tag, so I don't know where he came from. I believe he is from a like a bed set thing. Like he was an attached plush. So I think that's where he comes from. But he's honestly pretty good for just a like bonus for like a bed sheet thing. So yeah, you are going right there. Oh yeah, this tiny thing. This thing was actually part of a lot of plushes that I bought that also contains another plush that we will see later. And yeah, it's just a little small version of the Namco Sonic. And I mean, Namco Sonic was never really good, but this guy's got a lot of charm for being so tiny. You are going right there. I think he's even smaller than Jazzwares Sonic. Ah yes, the big boy. SA1 Sonic. Now this guy, I actually didn't touch upon in my video about SA1 Eggman. So I mean, his story isn't really that complicated. I just saw two listings of SA1 plushes, this Sonic and the Tails that I own, and yeah, I saw them on eBay, and they were pretty expensive, but I figured I had some money, so you know, I bid on them and I won them. So, yeah, obviously no hamstring or tags or anything, but he's pretty good, all things considered. And I'm very glad to own him, to have him part of the collection. You will go right there. Ah, yes, this little 30th anniversary plush. I just won this guy at like an arcade with my family sometime. And I also won a bunch of other plushes there, which I'm not showing here for them not being Sonic, but yeah. Pretty cute little plush. Nothing else to really say about him, so he will go right here. Ah, yes, this guy. Oh man, if you were there for some of the earlier days of this channel, you might actually know where this guy is, but Yeah, this is that Namco Sonic that I used in one of my videos that it's not in the best of shape, I'll give it that, but it was owned by my little cousin before me, so obviously, you know, it was never going to be in the best of shape. Obviously everything's like faded and he looks gross, but, you know, I keep him for nostalgia's sake. So, going right there. And that, I believe, actually makes all the Sonics in the collection. Well, the main Sonics at least. There's a couple other not real Sonics, but we'll touch upon them in, you know, soon. And next up, we'll go to the Tails plushes. Kicking it off with a big order, here we got Fighter's Tails. Yes, the Tails plush from the Sonic the Fighters plush set. Yeah, this guy is pretty good. I really like him. You know, he's a pretty charming 90s Tails plush. He came with his hang string. His tag is intact. You know, his cheek tufts are a little yellowed, but he's pretty good condition for what it's worth. And yeah, no, I got him for not $400. So yeah, that was a bonus. So you are going right here. If I can get you to sit down. There you go. Ah, yes, the SA1 Tails. This one has basically the same story as Sonic. I saw his listing from the same seller, and I decided to bid on him, and I won him. So, yeah, he's pretty good. Like, I really like him, and these plushes were a lot bigger than I was expecting, though I don't really know what I was expecting. But, yeah, no, he's pretty good. Pretty good early modern Tails plush. As I said it before, and as many have said, this was one of the first modern Sonic plush sets, and it's a pretty good one. I really want to get all of them one day. But this is a super cool plush set. So you are going right there. Another one of these Toy Factory plushes. I won him basically the same way I got the Sonic, from a Dave & Buster's. I'm sensing a trend with these guys. But yeah, I got this guy from using some tickets at Dave & Buster's, and now he's in my collection. That's all I can really say about him, so he is going to be sitting right there. Ah yes, this guy! Oh my god! Yes, some of you might remember this if you have stuck around with the channel for before I enlisted a lot of those videos. And I think that video might even still be in a playlist somewhere, I'm not sure. But I might try, I might make it public sometime, or at least make that playlist public, because this guy, yeah, this guy was on the channel back then, yeah, I really like this guy. Tomy really did make some good classic Sonic plushes, I gotta say. And yes, I did actually find this guy in stores, so this is one of the lucky few I found at that time, when there was basically no Sonic merch in stores, and yeah. Oh my god, the 25th anniversary, oh my. Do I have some nostalgia with this thing? Yeah, this thing, I did actually find this in a Toys R Us. Like, one day, just went to Toys R Us, and him and Eggman were there. And I picked him up. And eventually picked up Eggman, too. But, yeah, no, this guy, he's still really good. His condition might not be the best, obviously. The mouth is, yeah. But surprisingly, I didn't do too much to like harm this guy. Maybe his tough, just like, you know, maybe his forehead is a little messed up. But other than that, yeah, no, this guy kind of kept him in better shape than some other plushes I own. Some of which you will also see soon, and some of which you've already seen. So you are going right there. Man, I love the 25th anniversary. On to the Knuckles plushes, starting with a big boy. The first ever, like, plush of a Sonic character I ever owned. Not the first ever Sonic plush, because that goes to the Jazzwares Sonic. But the first ever plush of a Sonic character, period, that I ever owned. That's because I've had this thing since I was literally a baby. So, this guy's been with me for many a year now. But, yeah, this guy, is well, it's Toy Network, so there isn't too much to say about him, but you know, he's big, and that's fun. So you're going on the side of fun. There you go. Ah, yes, this guy. This guy might also bring up some any OGs on the channel, which is probably only like 1 or 2 people at most, but they would probably remember. I used to use this guy all the time in some of my now unlisted and privated videos. But yeah, no, this guy, he's one of the first few plushes I got when I really started to want more Sonic stuff. And yeah, Classic Knuckles, GE Classic Knuckles. He is missing one of his bolts and stuff, and his little tear under his dread. Obviously, he doesn't have his tag, but otherwise, he's not even in too bad a shape. So yeah, you're going there. Ah, yes, this guy, the Jack-specific Classic Knuckles. This was actually something my stepdad got me, so I thank him very much for this. But I mean, it's a Jack's plush, so there isn't too much to say about it. It's just a neat little plush. You go right there. Now, this guy, on the other hand, I actually found this during one of my merch hunts. Trying to look for some Sonic movie merch that I hadn't gotten yet. And obviously, I found this guy in stores. It was actually at a Macy's, surprisingly. But yeah, it's a little weird-ass mouth Knuckles. But yeah, here he is. And this guy, this is one of the few things that actually made a merch hunt successful. So I at least have him to, I have to thank him for that, even though he looks like that. And that's actually all for the Knuckles, so we're gonna move right into Shadows. Now, there actually aren't too many of these. This is pretty much one of the 2 Shadow plushes I still own. This guy is the Jazzwares Shadow, and obviously you can tell he's also taken quite the beating, even as been like stitched up once before. But yeah, no, this is the original Jazzwares Shadow plush I owned. I never actually owned a Tails plush back in the day. It was just Sonic and Shadow, so yeah. Have a lot of memories with them. Brings back a lot of good memories. This guy, on the other hand, is actually pretty recent. This guy I got in that same lot with the tiny Namco Sonic over there. And yeah, this guy is the GE Shadow plush. The newer one, not the rare older one. Now, obviously, he's fairly used. I can tell this guy's been floating around for quite some time now, but yeah, no. This is indeed GE Shadow. So, yeah, good, just a good plush. You're going right there. Now, before we get to some more of the major plushes, we're going to take a little detour for this guy. This Dark Chow plush. Yeah. This guy was yet another one of the plushes from Jack's that made one of my merch hunts actually sort of successful. And him alongside a Robotnik, which you will see you'll see soon, was, yeah, they made a merch hunt successful for once, even though I didn't find any figures that day. But whatever. So you will go right here. Now, this guy, on the other hand, this guy has a pretty, interesting story, you could say the least. This guy I found at some random store after a trip to the science museum thingy. This guy was just chilling out in some random store along with like a bunch of like Sine plushes and stuff. Not rare Sine plushes, just like all-star stuff. But yeah, this guy was just there. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna make my grandma buy it for me. And yeah, she bought it for me. So there we go. This guy exists in my collection now. So, most of the not major plushes have gone out the way, and you have a couple of cool, interesting boys, and some boys with a lot of history to them. But now, we're gonna get to the big boys. Starting with, actually, taking a small little detour to talk about this guy. Now, this guy is my GE, well, Metal Sonic. And it's GE Metals, so obviously some of the GE Metals shenanigans are still there. I did accidentally rip him at some point, so I do need to have that fixed. But yeah, it's a GE Metal Sonic. I got him for Christmas one year from my grandma, actually, so thank her for that one. But yeah, here he is. He is looking as good as GE Metal Sonic can look. So you will go right there. Speak of the devil. Here's that Tails plush I was talking about earlier. Yeah, this guy I got in a lot with, well, the other plushes I talked about before. And yeah, this guy is the Sega Toy Sonic X Tails. Obviously, for the most part, he's in pretty used condition. You know, most things on him are, you know, used looking, but his shoes are damn near perfect. So that was a huge plush. That was a huge plus for me. That's one of the main reasons I actually decided to buy that lot in the first place. So, because I got such a cool lot out of it, you are going right there. Ah yes, one of the first few plushes to really kick off my more serious collecting over the past few years. This guy is the Jazzwares Classic Metal Sonic plush. Yeah, I got this guy on eBay for, believe it or not, 30 bucks. What of it? This was like 4 years ago somehow. God help me. Probably like 3. No, I think it might actually be 4 now. God damn. But yeah, no, I got this guy a fair while ago. But yeah, no, he still holds up today. He looks pretty good, even for a Jazzwares plush. And yeah, this guy really kicked off some more serious collecting from me, so I have him to thank for that. As I was talking about earlier, here's the classic Eggman, the Robotnik from that little merch hunt I was talking about. Same one I got Dark Chow from. One of the only merch hunts that has been successful, and hopefully will remain in the past as unsuccessful merch hunts go. So, yeah, you know, did make it successful, but you still look stupid. Now, this guy, on the other hand, has been one that I've had for quite some time now. The Tomy Classic Eggman, or Robotnik. And, yeah, I've had this guy for many years, since the 25th anniversary. As I said, I have some nostalgia for that time. And, this guy is also part of that. He was my first ever Eggman plush, so, yeah. He holds that title for sure. Also, you thought I was gonna go and pull in the, you know, the obvious contender. But I'm actually gonna take some detours to talk about the rest of the plushes first, because I like to make you all wait for the suspense. Ooh, spooky! You're gonna have to wait to see the big boy, the truly big boy. So, yeah, I'm evil, and I like to do evil. Anyway, what we're going to look at next is this Amy. Yes, the GE Amy plush. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on this plush, and to be honest, I do too. It's not really the best plush out there, but I have some memories with it now that I've, you know, owned it for many years now. And, yeah, I think she holds up. She's not a bad plush at all. She's just not the best Amy plush out there either. Especially now that I own some particular Amy plushes we will take a look at now. Ah yes, 2007 Sine Amy. Man, this was one of the first plushes that really started to get me onto the hype train of trying to collect all the rare Sonic plushes. This is the guy who kickstarted it, but this is the plush that put that into basically overdrive mode. And yeah, no, she's a really good plush. She had her tag and everything. She cost me like back then she cost me like 70 bucks, God bless my soul. But yeah, she's a really good plush and really helped me out and like encouraging me to start collecting some more. And I honestly figure I might not have built up more of a collection if I hadn't gotten these two. So, yeah, I have them to thank for that. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, 2012 Sine Amy. This one was one that I was really happy to get, because this one, I have a lot of nostalgia for this one, actually. This one, this was a plush that the YouTuber Rosie the Rascal 15 used in some of their videos back in the day, and I have a lot of nostalgia for that channel. Even though they don't really post too much Sonic content nowadays, they mostly post like other content and stuff. You know, I still enjoy, I enjoy looking back at those old videos, and this plush gives me a lot of nostalgia for that. And I also got it completely mint in bag, so yeah, that was very hype for me to get. Ah yes, my original GE Supersonic plush. As with some of the other plushes that are my originals, yeah, no, people who, the one person who would be watching this right now who actually remembers the old videos on my channel, yeah, no, this guy was there. Man, this guy appeared in quite a few, actually, now that I think about it. And, you know, he's been through a lot. You can tell he's a little bit dirty here and there, but yeah, he's still a really good Supersonic plush. I'm very glad to own him. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, this guy, Classic Supersonic. Man, I was so hyped for this plush when it got revealed back then. Like, everyone was talking about how this is like the first Classic Supersonic plush in 20 years. And, you know, this guy is like making history now and everything. Good times, man, good times. But he is a really good plush, I have to say. Like, sure, quality control issues back in the day were like a thing, but yeah, no, he still holds up today, and he looks really good. Especially for being a Tomy plush. And, yeah. He's definitely worthy of making that history of being the first one in like 20 years, you know? Yeah. Not much else I can really say about him. I was hyped to get him. I got him for Christmas. An awesome plush. These next two plushes are plushes that mean a lot to me on a personal level. These two have really a lot of significance to both me collecting and just, you know, me as a person in general. And yeah, no, these ones, they're important to me. And this one that I'm going to be talking about, just, you know, this next plush I'm talking about is probably has been for the longest time one of my favorite plushes in my collection. Until the plush we're going to be talking about after this one came along. But, of course, if you've been here since, you know, the earlier days, which is probably only like one person, as I've said before, but still, then you may have seen this guy, my GE Chaos plush. Now, back in the day, getting this guy was just so cool. Like, everything about him was just so perfectly done for a translation of chaos into plush form. And yeah, I really enjoy this guy. So many things about him, so many details they managed to capture in plush form were just so amazing, bro. Obviously, mine isn't in perfect condition, but, you know, he was never going to be. I love this plush, and I used him in quite a lot. And nowadays, yeah, he sits on the top shelf with a lot of the other plushes that I hail as some of my favorites. But yeah, this guy, I have a personal connection to this character, because this was one of my favorite Sonic characters for the longest time now. And honestly, he still kind of is really awesome even to this day. Like, I was caught up in the hype for Forces. Like, the hype for Forces was real, and seeing Chaos got me hyped. I should not have gotten hyped for Chaos, but yeah, unfortunately that's how the cookie crumbles, but, you know, no, let's just ignoring that for now. This guy, I really love this guy, and he means a lot to me on a personal level, and just he's one of my favorite plushes. And yeah, no, he's really awesome, and I definitely am glad to own him. A lot of this probably wouldn't have happened without him. Now, it is definitely time for what basically everyone watching this video has been waiting for, because I've been hinting at it throughout the entire thing, and given the other video I posted on my channel, you probably already know what plush will end off this video with. That's right, we are going to be ending off this video with the famed, the fabled, you know who it is. That's right, baby. Get a load of this. My SA1 Eggman plush. Now, obviously, I've already done a whole video going over the story behind this guy. And yeah, he really did take over as one of my favorite plushes in my collection right after Chaos. Because, god damn, this guy is just awesome, bro. Like, I literally, even now, I've had time for it to sink in, and it still is so surreal looking at this guy and just seeing him in my collection. This is one of the rarest Eggman plushes out there, and I just own him now. It's incomprehensible to me. Like, this is one of the coolest things that I own, and I could not have done it without, like, the help of some amazing friends and just the help of, like, the collecting community. This would definitely have never happened without you. And I definitely wouldn't have gone, you know, this far if it wasn't for the rest of these. All these experiences, all the years I've been collecting, yeah, they really did pay off when I got this guy. And I'm super happy to just own him now. It is one of my favorite plushes, I wouldn't say of all time, but he's my favorite plush that I own. Though Chaos will always hold a special place in my heart. And yeah, that was my full Sonic plush collection. Now, it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's definitely not one of the most impressive. I mean, obviously, it's not like I own 3 Soap Shoe Sonic plushes. But I would say it's got it where it counts. And every plush in this collection means a lot to me. There's experiences and memories tied to almost every single one of these plushes that I can never replace, literally. Like, some of these plushes were from a time that we'll never be able to go back to. Tommy. But, you know, that's what makes them special. And, yeah. That's all I really have to say. This has been Project Elements signing off. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content based around these guys. And maybe just more content based around collecting in general. And now, I'll see you all later. Have a good day, everyone. Peace!